Parshat Shemini almost always falls right after Pesach. Often in Chutz La'aretz, it is the 8th day of Pesach. It gets pushed off by another week. But it reminds all of us, I think, especially in Israel, of the fact that we don't have an 8th day of Pesach, and it allows us, on some level, to focus on the number 8 and what it means for us. There's a number of 8s in the Torah. The most famous is Bris Milah. A Mitzorah is Matar on the 8th day. A Zava is Matar on the 8th day. The Shemini Atzeres is a representative of 8. What's so great about the number 8? And so most people would answer, it's not the number 8, it's that it's the number after 7. 7 is a magic number, and the number after that is 8. There is some truth to that, but it's not the complete truth. When you look in the Torah, Bris Milah is the first number 8 that we really have, and there you find the first use of the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kel Shakai. Right? The Pasuk says, Ani Kel Shakai hi talech lefanai veheyeh tamim. Okay, much you could say on that Pasuk, but we're not doing that parsha right now. But the drasha on that Pasuk is the most interesting. Reish Lakish says, what's Ani Kel Shakai? Ani hu sha'amar la'olam dai. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I could have created a world in more than 7 days. I really could have. And I could have created maybe a perfect world. But I'm creating a world that's not perfect. I'm creating a world with cancer. I'm creating a world that has all kinds of problems. And I'm asking you to fix it. Anihu sha'amar la'olam dai, hitalech lefanai vehiyeh tamim. I'm asking you to make the world perfect. That's a charge that we have from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's a charge that shows up again in this week's parsha. Because on the one hand, we want to make the world perfect. On the other hand, we want so hard to perfect the world and to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But it has to be within limits. Nadav and Avihu crossed the line. We believe it was the Shem Shamayim, but they crossed the line, and their deaths are the reminder of that. That our work to complete the world and our work to perfect the world has to be within the boundaries of halacha and has to be within the boundaries that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us. When you think of the number 7, it's interesting, right? 7 is the most popular sort of number in the world. Everybody keeps a week of 7 days, except in medieval France, they tried to change it and they lost. Where does 7 come from? So a month, a lunar month corresponds to nature. A lunar year or a solar year corresponds to nature. 7 is completely religious. HaKadosh Baruch Hu happened to create the world in 7 days. But that became the way that the world keeps time, and that became the basis for the week. So then what's 8? Right? 8, the Maharal says, is l'mala min hateva. What does it mean to be l'mala min hateva? It means, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu's permission, to seek more closeness, to seek more perfection. So if you think about it, if you think of, let's say, Sfiras HaOmer. Sfiras HaOmer is not just 49. It's 7 times 7. We count 7 complete weeks. What's Shavuos? Shavuos is l'mala min hateva. Shavuos is the number that comes after 7. So 50 is obviously not 8. But it's 8 in the sense that 7 times 7, the number beyond that is 8. Yovel is the same thing. We count 7 Shmitos. The year after that is the Yovel year. The year after that is l'mala min hateva. All the different things that apply to it apply because it's the number 8. Because it's the number that goes beyond 7 times 7. That's how we're supposed to look at Parsha Shemini. It's weird that I think sometimes to myself that Parsha Shemini is the 8th day of Pesach. We don't have an 8th day of Pesach, right? We have Shemini Atzeres. All holidays are 7 days, right? Shavuos is 7 in the sense that, you count 7 times 7 and you get there. But then you get beyond it and you get to 8. On the one hand, we're supposed to aspire to be l'mala min hateva. On the one hand, it's supposed to be Ani Kel Shakai hitalech lefanai vehiyeh tamim. Bris Milah is the 8th day. Bris Milah is, on some level, the perfection of that which God made. Right? In the famous Medrash, Turnus Rufus says to Rabbi Akiva, if God wanted us to be born without an arla, so he would have made us without an arla. Why are you ruining what HaKadosh Baruch Hu made? But in our take on the world, no. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made an unfinished product. And he asked us to finish it. That's Bris Milah. That's also the lesson of Nadav and Avihu in this week's Parsha. We have to do our best. We want to do our best, but we have to do it within limits. The limits are what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives to us. The limits are halacha. But when we do it within limits, we get to be Hisalech Lefanai Veheye Tamim. Shabbat Shalom.